The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been sent to Cairo, Tel Aviv and Ramallah to try to de-escalate the tensions that are sky high following Israel's raid on the Jenin refugee camp that killed at least 9, including an elderly woman, and wounded more than 20 with live ammunition. Netanyahu has made no secret of his ambition to annex the West Bank, and he and Naftali Bennett before him have been pushing to deploy military force to oust the Palestinians in the West Bank from their homes and replace them with Jewish settlers. Now, Netanyahu is frustrated with Washington. Every time he plans to move into the West Bank, he's been told by Washington to delay and wait in order not to jeopardize wider interests. First, Netanyahu was told not to annex the West Bank in order to facilitate UAE's normalisation of ties. Netanyahu accepted the argument. Then Netanyahu was told not to annex the West Bank in order to encourage bin Salman's Saudi Arabia into normalisation. Netanyahu was toppled anyway, and Bennett came to power, who, despite being hamstrung by a fragile coalition, pushed for greater harassment of the West Bank and Jerusalem compound. Netanyahu is back in power and now sees no reason to delay his plans for the West Bank. Erdogan is chasing good ties, there are no signs UAE is bothered, Saudi Arabia's statement denouncing the raid was vague and neutral, Israelis are generally not concerned, and his coalition allies are all for it. The problem, however, is that Biden does not want escalation at the moment, and this is not because Biden is against annexation. The US has no problem with Israel expanding its borders in principle. Instead, Biden does not want another war in Palestine that forces another public moral question at a time in which he is trying to present himself as leading a righteous cause against Russia in Ukraine. Biden is aware of changing perceptions of Israel at home and does not want Netanyahu jeopardizing the PR efforts against Russia by forcing another discussion on US support for apartheid. And it's for this reason that Blinken has been scrambled to try and convince Netanyahu to delay annexing the West Bank and to stop provoking Palestinians into an open war that will undermine Biden's image.